This war is being fought by many men of many races and creeds. In the fury of battle, when men match their wits and courage against death, there is no supremacy of race or religion. A man is weighed not by the color of his skin, but by the heart that beats beneath it. To meet a man who flies against the homeland of his ancestors to preserve an ideal that is his birthright, the fighting AAF moves now to Tinian. Over.
This is your AAF combat reporter, Technical Sergeant Hal Brown, speaking from Tinian. We have our wire recorder set up on the hard stand of a B-29 airfield beside a Superfortress of the 20th Air Force's 313th Bombardment Wing. This B-29 is commanded by Captain James R. Jenkins of Detroit, Michigan. In its crew is a man with a story that deserves the consideration of every American. Technical Sergeant Ben Kuroki is a tail gunner. He comes from Hershey, Nebraska. But Sergeant Kuroki is an American-born Japanese, the only one flying regular bombing missions against the Japanese homeland. Sergeant Kuroki, when did you get into the Army?
Kid brother and I volunteered 2 days after Pearl Harbor.
Did you start gunnery training immediately?
No, I was a file clerk for some time, and because they were short of gunners, I volunteered for gunnery.
So you jumped from a typewriter to 50 caliber machine guns, right?
Yes, I did that in 5 days.
How many missions did you fly there?
I flew 30 missions.
Well, isn't 25 the required amount?
Yes, that's right. I volunteered for 5 additional missions.
And why did you volunteer for those 5?
Well, I wanted to kind of make a little better record so I could come out here to the Pacific.
Well, then, upon your return from Europe, what did you do?
Well, I wanted to get into B-29 right away, but I had a little trouble in doing that.
And how long did it take you to finally convince them that you wanted to get into 29s badly?
Well, it took me almost 8 months before I finally got permission to come out here to the Pacific.
Well, let me get this straight. After flying 30 combat missions in Europe, 5 of which were not required, you not only volunteered for another tour of duty, but you had to battle to make it. Is that right?
That's right.
As an American soldier of Japanese ancestry, how do you feel about bombing Hirohito's homeland?
Well, I don't feel any different than any other American soldier.
How many missions have you completed here?
I have 27 missions to my credit now.
With 27 here and 30 over Europe, you no doubt have some decorations. Would you tell us something about that?
Well, I've picked up a couple of distinguished flying crosses, and the air medal with 4 oak leaf clusters, and I guess I got a good conduct ribbon.
With those decorations and your length of service, you should have about enough points for a discharge. How many do you have, Sergeant?
128 points.
128 points, and the critical score is 85. Say, what are you going to do after you get out of the Army?
Well, I'd like to take advantage of GI Bill rights and go to some college.
Thank you, Technical Sergeant Ben Kuroki. Here now is Captain James R. Jenkins, the aircraft commander. Captain, how did you feel when Sergeant Kuroki was assigned to your crew?
I suppose I had the normal reaction. I didn't believe in racial prejudice, but I did have a feeling of apprehension.
And how do you feel about him now?
Ben is regular. He's an American. You don't really think of him as a Japanese American.
Is there any discrimination among your crew because of Sergeant Kuroki's ancestry?
Definitely not.
What is the name of your ship, Captain?
The Honorable Sadseki.
Named in honor of?
In honor of our honorable tail gunner.
In other words, he has earned the respect of the entire crew.
Yes.
Thank you, Captain James R. Jenkins. And to you, Technical Sergeant Ben Kuroki, we say, your effort, your spirit, and your courage prove that you are imbued with the highest type of American ideals. And your willingness for self-sacrifice and preservation of those ideals should be an inspiration to us all. Good luck to you. This is your AAF combat reporter returning you to the United States.